Why do most of the Europeans, Americans, Australians, Britishers want to visit Shimla at least once in their lifetime? When you think of the hill stations in India, you think of Shimla. Why did they decide Shimla to be used as summer capital? Actually attracted them and compelled them to use Shimla as their retreat. 200 years ago, why did the British move up to the hills? How and when did it come into existence? How does Shimla look like? Knowing about Shimla is an experience in itself. Shimla या Simla या Shumla या Shamla या Semla. There are many names given to this British Himalayan town. British because it was set up by the British officers, and Himalayan because it is set up in the foothills of Himalaya. But how the town got its name, that is a big question. And there are two stories. One is about three Gerard brothers who were actually exploring this valley after the Gurkha wars. Three Gerard brothers, one was Captain Alexander Gerard and his two brothers Patrick Gerard and James Gerard. One day they had a chance to climb up to Jakku Hill. Jakku is the highest hill of Shimla. Very few people know that Shimla is also set up around 7 hills like Rome in Italy. So we'll talk more about these hills in some other video. But here we are talking about Shimla. So these three gentlemen, they had a chance to climb up to Jakku Hill, and on the way they saw a fakir, a holy man, a sage. He used to provide water to the travelers, and he lived in a hut on the slopes of Jakku. Later in his book Account of Kunnuvar in the Himalaya, Alexander Gerard wrote,
Reached Shimla, a middling-sized village, at 12 hours 30 p.m. Stopped here for some time and then at 5 hours p.m. marched to Jakko. A fakir is stationed at the pass to give water to the travelers, from whom he receives a small trifle in return.
Who were the travelers there? Because Jakku is a hilltop. It's a very narrow peak. So once you are up there, you don't have any other chance but to come back or to go to other side or this side or that side. So who were the traveler and why people go up there? There is a temple of Hanuman, and this fakir used to he provided water to the travelers, and the name of the hut where he resided was Semla or Shemla, and it is said that the village received its name from that hut. So this is one story. Some other people also say that the town receives its name from the village that was called Shayamala, and that village was set up starting from the Catholic Church till the lift. In this stretch of a kilometer, the whole town was set up. This word comes from the ferocious looking lady, the black goddess of Hindu mythology, Kali, Kali Mata, mother goddess. And she came to the hills with Bengalis, the Sen dynasty, one of the sons of Raja Rudra Sen in 1250. His name was Giri Sen. He came to this site and built his palace in a place called Junga, named his dynasty Kyaunthal. So he was one of the three sons, the youngest one, who came here. The other one had gone to Mandi and set up Suket. His name was Hamir Sen. And the first one went to Jammu, and there he set up his dynasty. His name was Samir Sen. So Giri Sen came here. He made his palace in Junga and named it Shamla. British called it Simla. That in English there is no single letter that can sound sh. Perhaps that's why they named it Simla. And some people say that because British could not pronounce the word Shamla, that's why they called it Simla. But I don't believe they can't pronounce the word, because it's almost more than 20 years now I've been taking people around. A lot of Brits have been to me, and when I tell them British could not pronounce it, and they speak the word Shamla, they can pronounce it very clearly. but they named it Simla, and the present authorities, they have changed the spellings from Simla to Shimla. In local dialects, sa is pronounced as sh, so it became Shimla from Simla. And that's the story how the town got its name.